The fuck is the game? There it is.
Bum, bum.
We're back!
Ah!
Oh, you scared the fucking piss out of me.
Why did you do that?
Because I'm the Shrigma male.
I'm physically going to assault you.
Fucking won't.
Tyler, it's that part. That time.
Who's my little mushroom man?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm waiting for you to be ready.
I'm hot, Tyler. I'm old.
You're not! You're 5 years younger than
I'm
me!
hot. My hair's falling out. My legs are falling apart. My knees have chronic pains.
Buy a fan.
Why would I buy a fan when it's not this hot when there's 3 other people in my room?
Why does it get this hot when there's 3 other people?
Because it's almost like your body produces something called body heat, and the more individuals you put in a
Not me.
room, the more heat that is produced.
This thing is
Why do you think cons are so warm?
Cons aren't warm. You're just a hot dude.
I hope you have another heat stroke.
Oh, I'm on medication.
Against the sun?
Isn't that just called sunscreen?
She got sun medication.
First of all, hot flash. You're gonna insult me correctly. Second of all,
You got overheated in one of your cosplays at some point, didn't you?
no, I.
Or is
I
that-
have,
are
like,
the- are these the
premenopausal
same things?
symptoms, so I get hot flashes.
Just don't have pre-menopausal symptoms.
Hey, Connor, okay, let's get started. Let's get started, buddy.
It's gonna take like an hour to be fun. He's gonna keep these 2 minutes in.
I thought demons was like
Well, I guess
And
I'm
Connor isn't
objecting
going
here.
that late, so you're gonna have to stay here all night for 2 weeks.
I hope you're ready to live in my fucking closet for 2 weeks.
I don't think this
We could make it in 2.5 hours, but Connor doesn't want to stay up that late. If we didn't tangent too much.
Dude, I can do this chapter and I'm tapping out. My legs are fucking killing me.
Okay.
Oh, crack the neck. No, I'm ready. I went home and washed the day's sweat off in the shower. Normally I could reset everything by taking a shower and forgetting all the bad things, but that didn't happen today. I got out of the shower to find fresh underwear placed neatly in the laundry basket. Normally I didn't stop to think about it, but today I felt happy at my mother's consideration. At the same time, however, it made me realize how much Satoko must be suffering. At the very moment I was appreciating this gentle kindness, Satoko might be being bruised by her uncle's cruel words. I went up to the 2nd floor and shut myself in my bedroom. Then, facing my desk, I folded my arms. My topic of thought, of course, was Satoko. We thought that if we could just get a public agency to intervene in the right way, the problem would be solved. But with what Coach said, I didn't think it would be so easy. Satoko was obstinate, and she would stubbornly deny the abuse and try to endure it. And that was an act of atonement towards Satoshi, who had protected her before and then run away. As long as she thought that way, the situation wouldn't be so simple. But earlier, before Coach, I made a clear declaration. If I thought Satoko was in danger, then I would do what I had to do. In the end, that meant I was just going to wait and see, too. Nevertheless, I thought I'd drawn a clearer line than Coach or my friends had. If the time came, I would report it. Over the phone. Given Satoko's personality, she might criticize me if she found out. But I believe it was ultimately the best decision. Wait, Keiichi Maebara. Would that really be all it took for the problem to end? Say that I reported it to a public agency like the Child Consultation Center. What if they stuck to their wait-and-see attitude like last year again? Last year they decided to do just that, and the situation improved temporarily, but then the aunt, thinking herself a laughingstock, increased her tormenting in secret. In the end, things became more underhand than ever before. This year it was her uncle. I had just seen him for the first time today, but the man seemed much more direct, much more violent than the word underhand could imply. He wasn't like their aunt. No, not that subtle. He was more direct. He might also assault her with punches and kicks. That could easily be discerned from bruises and such I saw on Satoko's body. Shit. You're too naive, Keiichi Maebara. However heroic it may seem to report what was happening, if it doesn't save her, then it doesn't mean anything. Reporting things to a public agency was only one option, and leaving everything to them would be dangerous. We would need something more to guarantee Satoko's safety. I scratched madly at my head, thinking, then tilted it back, wanting at least a little bit of calm. The memories of angry arguing with my friends today came to mind. I was embarrassed that I hadn't realized it until Rina had said something. She was right. My house is big. Compared to all the houses with the straw thatched roofs in Hinamizawa, it was really big. We did actually have empty rooms. I'd never thought that we were affluent, but also never thought that we were poor. I just didn't admit it because people would think I was arrogant. But maybe my family really is wealthy. We had a few rooms we could lend to Satoko. The guest rooms are only in use when people related to my dad's job come to stay every once in a while. Plus, if we cleaned up a few of the rooms my dad uses for storage, they could work for her as well. As for food expenses, that might have been a more serious problem than a kid like me could imagine. Lunch every day would be manageable. All of our friends would just have to bring a little bit more lunch than they usually did. With everyone pecking at everyone else's food anyways, it would be manageable. For breakfast and dinner, though, that would have to be up to Mom. I would need to convince her to lend Satoko more than just a room. Of course, I didn't even think convincing her of that would be easy. About how much did it cost for one person to eat? How many tens of thousands of yen per month? They couldn't complain about it if I shouldered that, could they? I only had 10 or 20,000 yen in savings, but it was something. I actually had even more thanks to New Year's gifts and such, but my parents had taken all that and put it into a fixed time deposit. If I could get access to that, it should add up to a lot of money. And if I got that far, Mion and Rina would need to share some of the burden. Of course, that didn't seem like it would work. Rina got mad at me, didn't she? About how I shouldn't just shove responsibility onto others. I'd have to ask for help. Even so, I'd basically be saving her myself. I would follow through on it. Oh, but it wouldn't only be food expenses. There were a lot of other things you couldn't do without, like baths and laundry. My mother was awfully methodical and strict about cutting out inefficiencies, and for once, that was troublesome. She might even make reference to the money it would cost for the detergent Satoko would use for her own clothing. I couldn't think only about food expenses. I needed more money. Hey, wait, Keiichi Mayabara, since when was this all about money? Even if you could afford it, you would need your parents' permission first. They'd be looking after a young girl for a really long time. What would I say to persuade them? Just calm down a bit, Keiichi Mayabara, and you'll realize right away that you can't. Even if you ask them seriously, they would tell you to call the police. Even if you manage to gain their empathy, why should the Mayabara family have to shoulder all of the burden by itself? That's what would happen. That was it. It was very sad and frustrating, but no matter how much I wanted to help, my resolution alone couldn't save anything. Our kids, are they really this powerless?
This is like the opposite of Persona 5.
Yeah.
You know, P5 is all about like shitty adults, and this is about like powerless kids.
I felt frustrated. I believed my feelings were stronger than anyone else's. I even thought they were stronger than Coach's. And yet... At that point, bless you, there were 2 knocks at my door, and Mom poked her head inside.
It's just a
Then I take it back.
Okay, good.
Curse you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Hope you burn in hell, you dumb bitch. Keiichi's mom. Keiichi's mom. Keiichi's mom.
Were you awake? I've been calling you for dinner for a while.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. As someone financially dependent on his parents, I shouldn't say this, but I just sat around doing nothing, and food suddenly appeared. It felt so natural to me that I'd shamelessly thought of it as the responsibility of the parents who gave birth to me. But when I realized that natural thing was actually a privilege, I came to realize just how hard it was to grant that privilege to others. Even the boring meal in front of me, no better than it ever was, had more meaning than that thought. Every time she makes food, he calls it boring. His mom is a shitty cook. It's been this way for 3 games. It's literally been this way every game, every
There
fucking
has to be
game.
a concept.
Every game, he calls her food bland and boring. Every game.
He's so rude. I can't believe
It's
he does
every
this.
time,
He's
man.
literally
So
getting free food.
grateful.
There you go. There was food for 3 on the table right now. For Dad, for Mom, and for me. I couldn't imagine how hard it would be to add another place at the table. Think, Keiichi Mayabara. If it was hard to make food for 4, then just think about how 4 people could eat food made for 3. What? Oh. I changed around the way I thought, and with that I began to consider an unthinkably bold plan.
Unthinkable.
That's right. I didn't need to get my parents' permission. She should just live here in secret.
Kidnap her.
I got upset when I found out a while ago, but I remembered right. If you climbed out the window, then shimmied down the first floor roof, or the gutter, you could go in and out of the house directly from my room. Satoko's physical ability far surpassed my own, so it would be even easier for her. I hadn't even thought about it, but her living here secretly was actually a necessity. What? He's literally tripping his nuts off. I'd only have to bring Satoko to my house when the public agency said they would wait and see. In other words, if Satoko's uncle continued to be her guardian. If, in such a situation, word got out that she was here, her uncle would barge in and drag Satoko with him. Her uncle was her rightful guardian, so my parents would hand her over without an argument, no doubt. So I needed to keep it a secret that she was living here. If it needs to be secret, then having my parents' help would mean a lot, but gotta deceive your allies first, like they always say.
Literally, who says that?
People betraying their friends.
Okay.
No.
Persuading my parents was an unrealistic proposition, so I'll search for a way to have her live here in secret. Ow. When I was around, she would just have to be really quiet in my room on the 2nd floor. The issue was the daytime. If she was hiding from her uncle, then she shouldn't go to school. It might be lonely, but not going would be the better option. I could easily teach Satoko the stuff she learns in her grade. Actually, during school, I mostly help all the younger kids out rather than study my own stuff. During the day, I would need to go to school, so I wouldn't be at home. My parents respected my privacy now that I was this age. Trying to not catch him whacking it off in there. So they wouldn't go snooping around in my room while I was gone, I think. If she holed herself up in my room, it would be okay, right? If my parents did come, thanks to where the 2nd floor was, she could hear their approach from the sound of them coming up the stairs. And there would be a little bit of time before they got all the way up. I estimated a few seconds. That she would be able to hide herself in the closet.
Yeah.
Wait, Keiichi. Something doesn't make sense.
Really, Keiichi? Something doesn't make sense?
If she can't go to school, then what'll she do for lunch? Calm down already. I could just leave her my own lunch, couldn't I? I should just go to school without lunch and get everyone else to split theirs with me. Okay, that's good. No more contradictions or oversights, right? Oh, breakfast and dinner. I could somehow get her to go without breakfast. I can go with 2 meals a day when I sleep in on Sunday, after all. Every night, I'd pretend as though I had a bigger appetite, then ask for a bigger helping. And then I could just somehow give part of that to Satoko. As a test. I stood up from my seat with my plate of fish in my hands. Keiichi, Mom.
What's wrong, Keiichi? Sit down and eat your food.
Well, I'm kind of not in a good mood. Could I eat up in my room? Fuck.
I think it's his dad, isn't it? Keep hitting it? Oh, whatever.
You'll make a mess. Eat dinner at the dinner table.
Sorry. Hey, wait. I only tried to take away 1 plate of fish and they ganged up on me? It was his dad.
Yep.
In reality, it was impossible for me to smuggle food away without my parents knowing about it. But it It must have been worth taking the time to think about it.
That was not a manga gamer moment.
No, I had a stroke.
Connor's sweet.
There must be some trick, some method to avoid them realizing. Even if I can't think of one today, I might think of one tomorrow. I like how, to Mion's point, he's thinking of Satoko like his dog.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
trying to
like a
like
pet.
sneak a puppy into his house.
Why is this happening?
I said dog and they bark.
It triggered them. It triggered a response in their brains. Like they're fucking.
It's primal.
It's not even primal. They're like sleeper agents or some shit.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
Can you do? Oh wow. Alright, how do you do that? Yeah, you can just do that on command.
Yeah. Get your money up, not your funny up.
It's not hard.
Why can I not do that? That's like the one funny noise that I want to make. I need to learn how to do it. It's the one funny noise I want to know how to do. My appetite was rapidly fading, so I finished early and went back to my room. I went back there and tried to think about it from Satoko's point of view. For example, let's say my parents were coming up the stairs right now. I've got to hide. I opened the closet. Clatter, clatter. It didn't open quietly. Hey, wait. Didn't it always open real smooth and quiet? Why was it suddenly doing this now? What is this? A faulty house? Had it already gotten old or something? Or was I just not putting enough work into it? Could I just plaster it with wax? The sound itself may have been soft, but it left me uneasy as to whether my parents could detect it happening when they climbed the stairs. But this was an easy problem. I could do something about it. I just had to fix it up a little bit so it didn't make noise anymore. For now, I'll close myself in the closet as though I'd successfully hid. I basically always left my futon out on the floor. I couldn't think of any real reason my parents would want to go into my closet. Even so, there still might be some reason they would. I might need to construct some sort of camouflage so that she wouldn't be noticed even if they did open it. But the more she worried about that, the less time she'd have to actually hide, meaning it would be more likely they'd hear a noise. And then, I suddenly had to go to the bathroom.
I have to piss.
The bathroom? The need to use the toilet, so obvious and yet such a fatal flaw. The only bathroom was on the first floor. It would be absolutely impossible for her to use it without my family realizing. I might need to set up a portable toilet, like a chamber pot, I guess. Satoko would hate it, so she could go in my room.
Satoko,
But-
I need you to trust me. Piss into my hands.
Please pee in the jar, ma'am. It's for
Pee
your
into
own
my
safety.
hands. I'll take it away for you, Satoko. You have to trust me.
Satoko, your shit.
Satoko.
It's so
Oh,
stinky.
it's a putrid. I'll take it away. Don't worry.
Satoko, this is in your best interest. You must give me your shit.
Oh, don't worry. Your Nini will take care of your feces.
Why do we bring him here? Why do we let him in? Why do we allow them to be a part of this? Whose idea was this?
This is a certified chapter 3 moment.
Literally, I was gonna go home and sleep, and you invited me here. That was an L on your part.
See, Tyler, they're here for me. They're here so that I have more people to say retarded shit. So then when I say something dumb and you just look at me and I laugh to myself, but they can say something dumb and I get to laugh.
No, he's
You're
gonna
here to
be-
be ratioed.
He's gonna
I'm being ratioed.
remember-
IRL.
He's gonna remember the details better. Now, whenever he thinks about the strategy, he's gonna think of Keiichi cupping his hands for Satoko.
Keiichi, the chamber pot.
The human toilet, bro.
I'll be your
I am not making that edit.
It's the Quagmire toilet, but it's Keiichi.
You are terrible people.
My bar a toilet, my bar a toilet.
But the stench would be pretty terrible. Anyone sensitive would probably notice the smell without even coming into the room. The bath was okay though. She could just take a bath when my parents were out. but I couldn't do anything about a toilet.
How often are your parents out, Keiichi?
Living in her own filth.
When her stomach started to hurt, if my parents were lazy around downstairs, she'd be in trouble. It was then that I noted that I'd been clawing at my head with both hands. I sat down in the dark closet with my knees against my chest. I buried my face in them and tore at my hair. The more I thought, the more contradictions popped up. The more I thought, the more things failed. And the more I worried, the more I was reminded of how little power I actually had. My back started to hurt from staying in that cramped space for so long. But if I was to shelter Satoko, I would need to force her to feel this pain. What? To live in such a dark, narrow, suffocating place forever. But it would still be better than being abused by her uncle, or so I wanted to think. It got hard to breathe, so I gave in and crawled out of the closet. I looked at the clock, and to my surprise, it was 3:30 in the morning. It had felt like so little time, but it was so unbelievably long. When I realized that, I was slammed with a terrible urge to sleep, as if time had only just caught up with me. I didn't have enough strength to fight it, and fell flat onto my futon. Shit, I can't just go to sleep like this. If I waste any time, that'll mean I'm taking the same wait-and-see attitude that Mion and Coach and everyone else did. I needed to keep worrying about how to rescue Satoko for a minute, or even a second longer than everyone else. Isn't there a better way? Isn't there a better way? That one phrase I spoke to myself swirled around and around in a spiral, Wizard 101, and steadily took over my entire mind.
Why do you do this? Why do you like this?
Because it's the spiral, that's what the universe is called.
Definitely better than the chamber joke.
It is better. It is better.
Tyler.
Why is it so slow?
You gonna catch it, or you just gonna like...
You're just gonna let it flow in the air like that.
I don't know how to...
He sent it back.
No, I
Blew it up.
It blew up. I don't know what happened. It just
That
blew
heart
up.
just BTFO'd.
You fucking whore. I provide to you my
I'm
love.
the opposite of a
I
whore, thank you
provide
very
to you
much.
my love and affection, and you exploded.
He said,
For my last moments of consciousness, I thought, there were a lot of blind spots in what I'd considered tonight, but I absolutely wasn't wrong for having those ideas. Tomorrow, I would suggest this bold plan to the others. Mion might be able to help somehow, and Rina was really sharp, so she might have a good suggestion. And above all, we needed to rescue Satoko once again, with everyone helping out. I felt pathetic for letting myself fall asleep. I'm sorry, Satoko. And then he just gets ratioed by everyone else tomorrow.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Keiichi, what the fuck did you just say to us?
Who was that supposed to be?
Rena.
Why is Rena the Valley Girl?
Why?
Yeah, Keiichi,
Keiichi,
that's not gonna fly in Hinamizawa.
I don't know where you're from, but that's not how it goes here.
Keiichi, I beat Satoshi to death here. Learn what to do.
You're not. This is the big city. You're not in your small town kitchen.
The ceiling blurred into view. It was hot. There was a thin layer of moist sweat on me.
Why'd you say it like that?
What? Say
Moist.
Say it like what? You tell me I see moist on the screen? I can't read it like moist.
You said it like the Halo announcer.
Hojo. The voices of the cicadas.
Permeated.
Thank you.
Permeating.
The voices of the cicadas permeating my room were somehow grating to my head. What? Today's not Sunday, is it? I remembered today was a weekday and quickly brought myself to consciousness. And then, finally, I leaped out of bed. The clock, right a little before 10. I was totally late. When I wandered downstairs, my mom would get mad at me. There was nothing I could do, though. After reviewing the schedule for the school day for a moment, I subtly rearranged the stuff in my bag. Fuck! I suitably
He subtly rearranged his bag. Very...
Why would he?
To hide it from his mom.
Yeah. Heads is porn. I suitably rearranged the stuff in my bag. I hurried and got dressed, then went down the stairs. His mom didn't wake him up. There were no signs of my parents anywhere. Oh, maybe they went out somewhere together. So that's how it was. My mother had probably woken me up once this morning, but then I fell back asleep without remembering it. And my parents, thinking I'd gone to school, left. Something like that probably happened. His parents got fucking ratioed. I went to the front door, and as I expected, it was locked. Looked like I was right. It was further evidence of my speculation being correct. When I realized my parents weren't here, I suddenly felt less like I had to rush to get to school. There was one portion of breakfast left in the dining room, probably mine. The milk they'd poured in had gone warm since a while ago. When I realized how hard it would be to sneak food for Satoko, yesterday, I had cried. Well, thinking back on it, food wasn't the only issue in that regard. I wasn't in any position where I could bargain for Satoko by myself anyways. It's such a heavy thing just to save
Why
a
do you
single
keep
person.
every single time that word comes up,
What?
you add an S?
What word?
What word did you just say?
What?
Anyway.
Did he say anyways?
Yeah, he always says anyways.
I didn't
Every
notice.
single time anyway comes up, Conor says anyways.
What? I do?
Yeah.
I didn't know either. What
You
the
guys just
fuck?
don't notice that?
No, I didn't notice.
Every single time you say it, you say anyways.
I don't think I've ever said anyway in my entire life.
Anyways is not a word.
Is it not?
No.
No, anyway is the word.
What?
Anyways is the slight.
You're gaslighting
I'm
me.
not.
I'm not. It's not. It's not gaslighting.
It's written right there. The translators did the work
Is
for you.
anyways grammatically is correct. Just like non-standard form of anyway. You're not supposed. It's not supposed to be that way.
LMAO.
You're not.
What?
LMAO, R with L.
It's literally like, that's not slang, but it's just.
What?
Well, anyways, I started blasting.
It's not. It's in the dictionary now because people don't stop saying it, but it's not a word. It was never a word until people started saying anyways for no goddamn reason. Until what was it? Millennials? Was it millennials?
Fuck the millennials.
Fuck millennials!
They fucked up everything.
Oh, me, I like Harry Potter, and I can't.
I'm such a Slytherin.
I say as I pour my morning cup of joe.
Are you
Unicorns
fucking?
and avocados, am I right?
What, Connor?
You're not fucking with me.
I'm not
No,
fucking
it
with
wasn't.
you.
He's not wrong.
Why is Connor just
You
brain
think
blasted?
3 people are just trying to gaslight you at the same time about a single S? Sorry,
I didn't
I'm
expect this
sorry
much
you
of
had
a
to learn
derail.
that
I thought you were just gonna be like, fuck you, I'd say it anyway. I thought you were just gonna like, yeah, I know it's wrong, I'd say it anyway. I didn't expect you to be like, that's not how it's said?
I didn't
Like,
know
I've
this
been
was
saying
so
that?
personal
This
for
is
you.
not the effect I was expecting this to have on you, buddy. Like, I'm gonna make a compilation.
Anyways, compilation.
Wait, Connor, you gotta do the word.
Oh, true.
I knew the world will after Higurashi.
Anyway.
You okay?
I didn't know. No one has ever said anything to me about this before. I type
nobody
anyways
knows it.
all the time. I say anyways all the time. I basically always read anyway as
Wait,
anyways.
Connor, did I tell you my biggest grief on here that we did it?
No.
So, you know when you like choke on water and you say like, oh, it went down the wrong pipe?
Yeah.
I used to say it went down the wrong throat. And nobody ever corrected me. This went on until like the middle of high school, then finally someone was like, dude, why do you say that? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? They were like, you only have one throat. And I was like, I've always said that. And they were like, the fuck? So then I went home and I was like, hey, what the fuck is this? My words were like, oh, we just thought it was so cute, we never corrected you.
No!
This is like 16 years of my life.
They just let it happen!
I did nothing to stop it.
Down the wrong throat.
You literally got fucking ratio.
No.
How long have I been doing this?
Always.
The whole time. Apparently.
Nothing's gonna change.
I legit didn't bring it up because I thought you were just gonna give me shit for it.
No. Nothing's gonna change, but I didn't know.
It was the
Anyways. It is now.
Make it
Congratulations,
anyways,
you've
and then
coined
put
the
the S
title.
in parentheses.
Dude, I had no idea. Oh shit.
Connor's been brain blasted.
I
for some
like,
reason.
oh my god. No, I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know.
I'm surprised.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm back. You fucked me up.
Perfect. You're just gonna be in the same mindset Keiichi's in right now.
You're so in character right now. You're glistening.
I'm LARPing Keiichi right now,
Literally
dude.
glistening right now. You're so Japanese.
I'd seen this on TV and in comics all the time. Those feel-good words about how you'll save your friends for sure and such. Was that why I ran my mouth like that, swearing to save her because I wanted to feel good about it? No, that absolutely wasn't true. Because the fact was, I couldn't save her. Because I didn't want to think like an adult, like I couldn't do anything but watch. Had Satoko gone to school today? I immediately realized this was a meaningless question. Whether or not she did, there wouldn't be a change in the environment she'd been placed in. If I couldn't save her and no one else could either, then we could only pray for a miracle. Are we so powerless? I like how the door opened as he was saying that. With a vague goal of getting to school in mind, I sluggishly put on my shoes and stumbled out the front door. How long do you think Rena left before she left?
How long
What?
was standing there in the morning?
What?
Waiting for who?
How long do you think Rena left until she left?
I have a stroke?
Yeah, you did. That's exactly.
How long do you think Rena waited before she left?
I don't know. Oh, I know, but
Oh, he knows.
I know.
I had only overslept by 2 or 3 hours.
But don't worry
That's so much. But the sunlight and air felt completely different from how they usually were in the morning. Well, of course they did. Once 10 o'clock came around, you could barely call it morning anyways. I didn't feel like walking the same old route to school. I needed to ultimately end up there, but it was like I didn't want to choose the shortest route, the most proactive one to get to school.
Did you do it on purpose that time?
What?
Anyways.
What?
Not again.
What?
How did he do it? No.
Where was it? I didn't say
No, there was
There
no
was no
anyways.
anyways.
Yes, there was.
No, there
No,
wasn't.
there's not.
You literally are tripping nuts.
Wait, you're gaslighting him now.
You're actually
You're actually
gaslighting
gaslighting him.
Once 10 o'clock came around, you could barely call it morning anyways.
There isn't any more.
Oh, I must be tripping.
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. Why did I hear it then?
Tyler, you're gaslighting me.
No,
Maybe you said anyways when who knows?
No, that way got ghosted away.
Who knows?
Put in a more positive light, maybe I wanted some time to walk by myself and think. Come on, tap me in. Bye. He's gone. I had to go back to school. Partly to make sure Satoko was safe, but I hadn't come up with any plans yet. Nothing since last night. So the path I took from my house was in the complete opposite direction. Is he going to Satoko's house? If I went this way, I'd pass Rena's house and the dam site. It would be quite a detour. I calculated how long of a detour it would end up being, then, satisfied with the answer, I started to walk.
Water.
Brooklyn snaps?
Chidori.
Thank you, White Fang 903.
Pass-
Chidori.
I'm sorry. I was trying so hard and the fucking cat got into my brain. I just heard the... Alright, it's out. I got it. I'm an actor. I'm talented. I'm handsome. I'm beautiful. I got it. I got this. Rena had brought me to the dam site a few times. One section of it had turned into an unlawful, oversized garbage dump, and Rena really liked going fishing for junk in there. Without that, she'd come off as a completely normal girl, too. I can think of a few other qualities she could do without, but whatever. Very sexist of you, Keiichi.
How?
I don't know. Misogynistic, I guess. He hates women. I don't know.
Different.
How did you not immediately think about her raging second personality and immediately thought about it or like, I don't know, ovaries? Like, what?
Bro, she got boobs. That's some quality she could do without.
Get him out.
What
Make
are
her
you talking about?
I don't know.
Get him out of here. Give her cancer.
Do you have brain cancer?
Maybe. I thought I had cancer in my neck, and then Luke like molested it and was like, "No, that's your muscles, bro." Dude, I know. I was like feeling my neck. It's like a lump. There's like a solid lump in my neck. Yeah, I guess.
My man got neck cancer. Bro, I think I got that cancer. It seems like my brother crushes a knot.
No, dude, it's like a solid ass fucking like lump in my neck. So I was like, this shit's fucked up. And Luke just like molested it. He was like, yeah,
let him
it's
see your shit.
So you're telling me you had a tumor on the back of your neck and some dude ham-boned it down?
fine. No, it's on the side. And Luke ham boned it and was like, that's just your muscles, man.
He said, watch this.
Yeah, you guys just don't understand.
No one understands. Nothing.
Sorry,
It's understandable anymore.
I haven't had a tumor
The view quickly opened up wide, and I was hit by a strong wind. There was no shelter here at this big dam site. Maybe it was a good thing I came here, I thought. At the very least, it was more healthy to think about stuff in a place like this instead of my cramped bedroom. I took a deep breath and filled my lungs with the rich, cold air unique to Hinamizawa. Ring, ring. What? I turned around reflexively. It was a bicycle bell. Considering where I was standing, I don't think they were trying to get me out of the way. They'd rang the bell because they wanted something from me.
Hey, there he is.
Big T!
Why the fuck he built like that?
No, that's a West.
Ew!
He's insanely jacked.
Why do their hands
Keiichi Goon.
The entire joke of the author is that he didn't learn how to draw hands until 2018.
That's true.
And that's 14 years late after this came out. I drew this image.
Like until Sakonia, he barely knows how to draw
And
hands
even
now.
then-
Yeah, even then there's still kind of mittens.
Hey, excuse me. You're from Hinamizawa, right? I love Tomatake Flash so much. Yeah, why? I've seen this person around a few times. Right, I remembered. His name, I think, was Tomatake Flash, a freelance photographer who worked in Tokyo. Who lived in Tokyo. He would zealously visit Hinamizawa every season to take pictures, or so Mion and the others told me, I think. Could you tell me how to get to the Furude Shrine from here? I think I left my map at the inn. I don't know where to go. The shrine from here?
Why is he Rocky Balboa?
I wanted to make him Patrick Warburton, but I don't know how to do it. Kronk?
No, make him fucking Rocky Balboa.
He sounds like a Germa character. Could you tell me how to get to the Furude Shrine from here?
That's why I love him, dude.
I need German to read Higurashi and just do voices for every character.
Yeah, I think I left my map yet.
The shrine? From here? I knew where everything was in my head, but explaining how to get there was difficult. I was a little irritated at having been bothered for this, but when I realized it meant my detour actually meant something, that feeling faded quickly. I'll tell you, but it's a little difficult to explain. I could bring you there if you don't mind. Really? I would be in your debt. Thanks a lot. But are you sure? Did you have something to do? Tomatake Flash finally appeared to have realized how strange it was for a student like me to be here at this time of the day. I smoothly told him not to worry about it, then turned my back and started walking towards Furude's shrine. Tomatake Flash hurried to turn his bike around and came after me.
It's Tomatake.
Yeah. Sorry. Don't worry. All guys have times when they need to split up from the pack and be a lone wolf for a while. What a free-minded freelancer. It was easier for me, too, that he was under that impression. I'm Tomatake Flash, a freelance photographer. I specialize in wild birds and landscapes. I'm still pretty unknown, though. It seemed absurd for him to introduce himself when I was just showing him to the shrine, but he gave me his name, so I needed to give mine back. I'm trying to change him a little bit from Mion, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a bigger separation between him and Mion.
Can you make his character a cosplay photographer? Like a budding cosplay photographer? He's really into Detective Conan.
Did you see that image of the Japanese guy with the shadow? With his shadow on the floor and his hair was just like Detective Conan. Like I saw it, it's like, oh, that's anime hair, and I translate. It's like, huh, I'm Conan hair. It's like, oh shit, it is Conan.
I'm Mayabara. I'm Mayabara. Pleased to meet you, I guess. Mayabara-kun? Pleased to meet ya. He seemed like a pretty silly man, but that felt kind of good considering I'd been suffocating with worry over Satoko all night. Along the way, Tomatake Flash spoke at length to me about how precious the nature in Hinamizawa was, and how it was a treasure trove of rare wild birds, despite my not having asked. Keiichi's such an asshole in this chapter. But I wasn't interested in what he had to say, but he seemed to be enjoying himself, so I led him to it.
Keiichi is definitely the kind of kid that would wear an eat, sleep, Fortnite shirt.
These steps will take you up to the shrine grounds. Thank you. You really helped me out. I think I'm a little late. As Tomatake Flash mumbled to himself, he left his bicycle nearby and started to climb the stairs quickly. I didn't have a watch, but as far as my internal clock could guess, it was still a little late in the morning. School wasn't very far from here. Maybe I could kill a little more time until then. With that in mind, I went up the steps in pursuit of Tomatake Flash. When I reached the top of the long staircase, I arrived at the wide-open shrine grounds that were too grand looking for this tiny village. Tomatake Flash. Oh, there he is. It looked like he was supposed to be meeting someone here. Then he got lost and ended up being late. He was bowing to a lady who must have been the person he was meeting. Takano is in this chapter?
Whoa. There she
Oh! Doesn't she have fat fucking tits in this?
is. No,
Yeah.
not in this art.
Not in this
She's
art.
pretty
They're
flat.
like comically
What?
defined. They're like comically defined in this art. She's
Okay,
like
Tommy
fat
Take
fucking-
No, she has booba in the OG,
She has
but
fat
not in the...
booba.
Nah, Tomitake definitely has bigger tits.
Tomatake fucks.
Like,
That
dude
lady.
is all breast.
I knew her.
Oh, yes.
Oh, is that you, Mayabara-kun? Hello there. Are you off from school today?
Hello, Takano. What?
What?
Oh, Mayabara-kun, you followed me? I wasn't really planning to. I just wanted to kill some time.
Oh my. Arriving at work late like an executive. How refined. You certainly are famous, taking the time to look like a big shot.
What was I?
What was I, a celebrity?
What was I? A celebrity? What? Is that a stroke?
No?
You're just doing the up talk at the I when
What
it's
was
not
I?
supposed
A
to.
celebrity? Like that.
No, what was I? A celebrity?
What was I?
He's not asking who he is. He's like,
Yeah, but
being
he's got like a comedy.
Rhetorical question.
rhetorical question.
I'm gonna rhetorical your fucking life.
I'm gonna
Better.
rhetorical yours.
Well, she did say my name out of nowhere anyway. I was oddly concerned about what she meant by famous.
Oh, you still can't remember my name? Hee hee.
This is Miyo Takano-san. She works at the village clinic. Mayabara-kun, you seem healthy, so you probably haven't been to the hospital much, have you?
Hee hee. Now that we're finally acquaintances, the next time you're sick or anything, I suppose I'll give you a little bit of a special treatment. Hee hee.
So that
yo.
that line right there.
Yeah.
You remember the fucked up line back in Watanagashi when he first met her? That's what that line was supposed to be. I don't remember I don't remember.
Is it like a translation thing?
Yeah, it was a translation thing. They like fucked up really bad and they never fixed it.
Like this feels so much different.
Yeah.
Like Takano.
I don't even remember how she phrased it there, but it was
Takano
like,
gives me so much of a different vibe already in this game. She feels so different in this game. She was like weird and terrifying in Watanagashi.
yeah.
She feels like a lot more approachable and just like an asshole in this game. She matches Tomatake's vibe a lot in this game better.
She says so. Okay.
Like, she felt like a fucking psycho in the last game.
This lady named Takano-san, This lady named Takano-san, I kinda didn't remember her. Maybe we passed each other on a street a few times, but I was pretty sure this was the first time we talked.
Takano's the looper?
Well, this is Hinamizawa. Even if I don't know a person's name, it's not unusual for them to know mine. I glanced at Takano-san and saw she had a bag and a camera. Are you photography partners? Was that why you were meeting each other? Something like that.
Oh, we're nothing like partners. I am but an amateur, and Jiro-san is gently and Jiro-san is gently initiating me into it. Right?
That's not it at all. Takano-san is a quick learner. She could take pictures just fine without my guidance. I mean it. I couldn't tell which of them was ahead in the conversation. Well, they were certainly one couple you wouldn't get tired of watching.
The festival is finally coming up the day after tomorrow. I hope I can take some good pictures with it this year.
We know what she's taking pictures of.
Here we do.
Tomatake Flash.
That's the fucking the ritual tool shit.
Yes, sir.
Not a Tomatake. She doesn't care about Tomatake being in the pictures. Taking all those snaps of the.
But he's hot. He's got big muscles. And he talks.
Do you
like that.
remember the fucking pictures
Yeah,
she
of
was
course I
taking last
fucking
time?
remember the picture.
She don't take a single picture of Tomatake.
I know she doesn't take a single picture of Tomatake. I wanted to insert that as my fanon. Is Tomatake talking?
Yeah.
I plan on taking some shots of the setup tomorrow. I want to capture the festival energy shown by the preparations for it too. Oh, I just remembered. There was some village festival called Watanagashi or something the day after tomorrow, on Sunday. They hold a service with a pile of old...
No, it's Keiichi.
Fuck. They hold a service with a pile of old futons in order to give thanks to Hinamizawa's guardian deity, Oyashiro-sama, I think.
Oh, you're correct. You have quite the extensive knowledge despite having just moved here. Yes, it's a festival to give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. Hee hee.
She's got Rika-chan's aura in this game.
Yeah.
Takano-san smiled, somehow meaningfully, but didn't tell me what part of the festival to think Oyashiro-sama needed to be laughed at. Cryptic as ever, Takano-san. But I do wonder, what will happen this year?
You know what they say. If it happens twice, it will happen a third time. And it's already happened 4 times. I think there's less evidence that it won't happen a 5th time. Don't you think?
Do they really say that? If it happens twice, it'll happen a third time?
Who says that?
That's what I'm saying. I knew what they meant by their whispered...
Tomatake?
I knew what they meant by their whispered exchange.
Beefy music.
On the day of the Watanagashi, a freak death always occurs, which people call Oyashiro-sama's curse. and a disappearance occurs that people called being demoned away. These strange events had happened 4 years running, and with Tanagashi rapidly approaching the day after tomorrow marked the 5th. Oyashiro-sama puts a curse on enemies of the village, eh? If it does happen this year, I wonder who will find themselves at gunpoint. Oh, and I always come here. Fuck. And I always come here to pray and donate money whenever I visit. It won't be me for sure.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, is that so? They say Oyashiro-sama has been especially harsh on outsiders recently, you know. My Baraku may have just moved in, but he's a proper member of Hinamizawa. But you, Jiro-san, are a stranger who only comes once a year. I wonder, will he let you go this year?
That's harsh. Tomatake Flash was the only one with a pained grin, but we were all smiling, me included. Oyashiro-sama, the one who used a curse to kill people involved with a dam construction project one after the next. He killed the dam construction manager, killed Satoko's parents for supporting it, and the next year he even killed her aunt. If the demoning away was part of the curse, then you could add Satoshi to the list of victims. As I thought about it, I realized that in the serial freak deaths incident, the overwhelming majority had the last name Hojo.
You kind of swapped the S's on the death incidents there.
Fuck.
Deaths incident.
God damn it. Half of the deaths and disappearances had come from the Hojo family. The Hojo family lived here in Hinamizawa. Did that mean Oyashiro-sama punished and cursed them particularly harsh because despite that, they had been in favor of the dam? Have you heard the news that Satoko's uncle has returned?
Yep.
Takano-san, who was enjoying a few words with Tomatake Flash, was caught unaware by my sudden inquiry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
Satoko's parents were killed by the curse, and her aunt too. So I was wondering if, maybe if you went in order, her uncle would be next. Her aunt had a miserable death from the curse last year, and her uncle let his fear take over and flood into town, right? Oyashiro-sama doesn't allow people to try and abandon the village, does he? I hadn't intended to be quite this persistent, but those words, they just flowed out of my mouth without me thinking about it. Right. Oyashiro-sama's curse. I didn't believe in something so unrealistic, of course, but the fact was that every year, unfortunate accidents and incidents happen to enemies of the village. Like Takano-san said just now, it had happened 4 times. No one could say there wouldn't be a 5th. God, they don't ever, change her facial expression on
That's
the
an
news
interesting
breaks.
suggestion. Is it true? It is true that if you look at the sacrifice in the previous years, the name Hojo comes.
Hojo.
Those named Hojo come up quite frequently. Given how long it's gone on for, her uncle being the only one to die or disappear this year isn't out of the question. Hee hee hee.
Why is she laughing so much?
Not again, Takano-san. Don't laugh about it. It could really happen.
I'm sorry, but Oyashiro-sama's curse is my life's work. Hee hee hee.
Takano-san gave off a mysterious, somehow intellectual impression, and her life's work was mysterious in its own right. She probably really liked inexplicable supernatural phenomena or something. And Takano-san, you seem like you know a lot about Oyashiro-sama. Give me your honest thoughts. Given that he's a Hojo and that he's returned, what are the chances that the uncle will fall to the curse?
My, what? You seem like you want to... You seem like you really want this uncle of hers dead. Hee hee.
That's not... I wonder. It all depends on the whims of God.
Maya Barakun, do you know the true identity of Santa Claus?
What?
Huh? Be like,
I got a strange question all of a sudden, and I couldn't immediately answer.
What? You don't know? It's your daddy. The daddies of in everyone's family.
What?
Why would she do this?
That's what you meant? Well, of course. Everything ultimately comes down to the humans in the end. After all, humans are the only ones living in the world. All strange things should be explainable in terms of human actions. I felt like I put that somewhat strangely, but Takano-san was not as dissatisfied with that reply as I might have guessed.
Wait till he hears about dogs.
Oh, it's impressive that you've caught on. It's impressive you've caught on to that at such a young age. You're right. Strange things that happen in the world of man are all caused by man for his own benefit. Maya Barakun, I'll ask you again then. This time, not Santa Claus, but Oyashiro-sama. Do you know anything about who Oyashiro-sama is?
Do you know?
Sonozaki. It's the Sonozaki's, dog, I'm telling you. Takano-san took a step towards me and gazed into my eyes as she asked. If Santa Claus was really the parents of every family's children, if lionizing that legend was a corporate tactic to try and profit during Christmas sales, then what was Oyashiro-sama really?
Oh, then you already say. There are only humans in this world. Everything can be explained by human actions, right? Hee hee.
I love Takano. Takano's definitely the looper. She knows too much about everything all the time, 24/7. Maya Barakun, keep this to yourself, okay? This string of freak death incidents attributed to Oyashiro-sama's curse. Takano-san's view is that they may be premeditated homicides performed by the people of Hinamizawa and based on some kind of ceremony.
No, don't misunderstand me. My life's work is to research teachings, thoughts, and cultures from the viewpoint of folklorism. I don't really care at all about who the culprit really is. Just keep that in mind, please.
I could tell at least that she was saying some crazy stuff. If I were to liken her statement to a meal, it would be sort of like she just tried to stuff a whole plate of duck into my mouth, and now I couldn't say anything.
To understand that in the first place, you have to go all the way back to ancient times. He instantly, like the lore dump.
The history lesson.
We had a whole, 2 hours dedicated to this in
Yeah.
fucking Watanagashi.
This should probably only be.
Ryukishi never repeats himself.
He always repeats himself.
You have to go all
the
the...
thing he does is repeat himself. Whoever told you that was lying.
That's the
I've never heard Ryukishi repeat himself.
fucking retard.
I've never heard Ryukishi repeat himself.
I've never
I've never heard Ryukishi
I've
repeat
never heard
himself.
Ryukishi.
I've never heard Ryukishi repeat himself.
I've never heard of Ryukishi.
To understand that in the first place, you have to go all the way back to the ancient times, when Hinamizawa was called Onigafuchi, or the Demon's Abyss. The Transcendents who lived there believed themselves to carry the blood of demons, and so are only half human.
Takano-san, having entered her home field, leaned forward and began to speak of ridiculous matters. Tomatake Flash realized she was
Overawing? Overawing.
That's what I read. I read overawing, and I was like,
Hey, yo,
I was like, oh my goodness. Tomatake Flash realized she was, I'm just gonna say overwhelming. Tomatake Flash realized she was overwhelming me and interrupted for me.
Overawing is kind of
It's real?
impress someone so much that they become silent or inhibited.
Takano-san, you can't just chatter on about that stuff to Mayabara-kun. Look, he's really confused.
Oh my, are you? If you want to hear more, ask me anytime. I have heaps of the grotesque stories that boys your age seem to love hearing.
Little does she know she's gonna be dead in 72 hours. Thank you. If I feel like it, I will. For now, I softly and safely gave my refusal. Takano-san seemed a little unhappy that Tomatake Flash had rained on her parade, but she stopped talking about it then. Shut up. Even so, it was still a very interesting story. Thank God it just kind of ended. That Oyashiro-sama's curse, which we thought of as a strange freak deaths, were really homicides. Perpetuated by people of the village. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, if you thought about it logically, it would have to be. People wouldn't be dying because of a curse. Someone's obviously killing people and making it look like one.
Indeed. As for who that is, it might be safer to not. It might be safer not to try and find out.
The first game, it was a curse. The second game, it was people. The third game, I figured they were gonna go the curse route again. But we're kind of in this weird wishy-washy in between right now. You seem like you know, Takano-san. You may not have proof, but you seem like you believe it.
Oh my. Why do you think that?
I just kind of felt it, vaguely. It didn't seem like her extreme passion for this research could be explained just by these things being taboo, or being safe and easy. This person loved walking through the profound, forbidden abyss of risks and taboos. I bet she does anal. Cut that. Don't keep that in.
Keep that in. Keep that in. Keep that in.
Don't keep that in.
Keep that in. Please keep that in.
Do not keep that in.
Homie talking definitely pipes the fuck out.
Don't keep that in.
Keep that in.
Why did I say it?
Why do you say these things? She said, definitely does anal.
Man, actually, just it's because of
almost
like
like
the
you had
taboo
anal-
joke, you know.
It's
Like,
almost like you had anal sex with Takano and not
I'm sorry.
People stop.
never. Who's the cowards? Does that all mean all gay men are cowards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dylan lit my
Easy
kiss
answer.
on fire. Let's leave it at that, Mayabara-kun. I just helped you escape, and now you're trying to talk about Oyashiro-sama again. I wanted to take a nice walk while it was still cool. Tomatake Flash seemed a little disappointed not to be able to go on the date he'd planned since I had brought up a weird topic.
It's really, literally just crashing their day.
But right now, there was something I wanted. But right now, there was something I wanted to ask just for a little bit, and that was about whether Sadako's uncle will be chosen for the curse this year. If he was, then another miracle would happen, just like last year. A terrible incident would again happen, but it would release Sadako from her unfortunate circumstances once more.
Well, I do have a few suspicions that's the kind of people who would probably become involved, of course. It's a natural and inevitable conclusion for anyone who's researched the history of Onigafuchi Village.
Onigafuchi! Is that the first game called? No, it's Onekakushi. Onekakushi with Tanagashi, Tatarigoroshi. What's the next one?
Himatsubushi.
Himatsubushi? Like the car?
Mitsubishi?
Mitsubishi Samurai?
No, it just
Who do you mean? What would I do if I knew? I asked that question to the other me deep inside, but got no reply.
How enthusiastic. What would you do if you knew?
Nothing, really.
If you found out, you might get into danger yourself, you know. Maybe the 5th year's curse would be you. Hee hee.
Takano-san, toying with taboo, gave a devilish, satisfied smile, as though nothing in the world would be more amusing. She was probably trying to tease me, but I didn't feel like going along with her little game one bit. You like to talk pretty big, but you don't really know yourself, do you, Takano-san? I had felt a tinge of irritation at Takano-san's roundabout way of speaking, but those emotions escaped my mouth, like water flowing through a strainer.
He's an asshole in this game. Like, he is a dick in this game. He's not that bad in the first two. He is a fucking prick in this game.
Fight.
That's true.
Even if I was surprised at how directly I had spoken out about what I felt, of course, I wasn't the only one taken aback.
Oh my, you're something. You may just be a boy, but you can still provoke people. How unexpectedly rugged. I don't dislike people like that, you know.
This imagery is
Takano-san's tongue poked out of her mouth, and and I was convinced that it was long, thin, and split in the middle like a snake.
Alright, I'll tell you then. Cause she's like,
She's evil.
serpent tongue. But you have to promise me 3 things first.
3?
1, not to regret it, no matter what I tell you. 2, not to tell it to anyone. 3, not to tell anyone I told you.
I gulped firmly and nodded. Gorp! And Tomotage Flash made an exaggerated expression of distress, gave a dry, vague smile, and lit a cigarette.
Yeah? He smokes. He just gave up.
Please tell me.
He bailed Keiichi out, and then Keiichi went, no.
What? He immediately jumped back into that pool.
Please tell me. Who is putting this curse on people? Who is it? Who's deciding who gets cursed? And after I said that, I finally realized why I wanted to know.
Here you go.
Halftime.
Yeah, so the name Onikakushi is spirited away, like demoned away.
Yeah.
Watanagashi is the what is it? It's the name of the festival, but it's like the guts.
The gut spelling festival. I think.
Right. And then Tatarigoroshi is the curse killing chapter. Curse killing, and then Himatsubushi is the time wasting chapter.
Is that actually what it
Yes.
It is.
That's what those names mean. Okie doke, Connor.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was like, wait, what's this man doing? I was like, oh, it's 11:30.
All right.
Fun time.
I got the buttons over here. Okay, goodbye.